SongCast. True music discovery.
You are streaming the Electronic Spotlight, indie music from around the world, commercial-free and free to stream. Our featured artist hails from Texas. We're going to hear some great conversation in just a little bit with Alberto Botello. First of all, let's whet your musical palate with a great track. This is One Life. Alberto Botello, indie music, true music discovery on SongCast. What a great track from Alberto Botello, kicking off this electronic spotlight that's called One Life. We have Alberto on the phone, going to talk about some music, hear about his career, hear about the inspiration for some of his songs. Here he is, tell you all about himself. Alberto Botello, featured artist on the electronic spotlight on SongCast.
Good evening. My name is Alberto Botello. I'm an inspiring composer, and I've been trying to do that for quite a while. Since I was a kid, I was a guitar player, inspiring musician, just like every American kid, teenager back in the 80s. Wanted to be in front of a stage, just hearing the fans, you know. And fortunately or unfortunately, that dream didn't become real. Things happen. I went to the military. I found my calling there. I was a combat medic and later a licensed vocational practical nurse, depending on where in the United States you're at. So I gave my service to my country. It was the best time of my life. It matured me, just gave me a lot of insight on myself, and it also fermented the love for music. Fast forward it to 2016, retired, 40-plus-year-old father of two with a wife, great support group right there, always backing me up on everything that I did and still do. As you can see, COVID hits 2019 or 2020. There were financial issues in our family and also in the United States at the time. I decided to get that old hunger for music to heal some of the stresses in my life. So I decided to get some of the music that I used to play, my personal music. So I got one, which is Ella. I ventured in computers and automation and music. So I tried to galvanize those two. And I think it was a great endeavor.
So this was the first time during COVID that you actually recorded your own material?
2019. That was like December. That's when I really decided to do it. And I had heard some stuff going on in China at the time, and but I didn't really pay much attention. I didn't think that was going to... So I got a little scared of that and how they were going to deal with that. And then the rest of the songs automatically just like I got inspired.
I know you said you started off back in the 80s playing guitar. How the stuff that you've released now through SongCast has more of an electronic feel to it. How did you go from a guitar player into recording electronically based music?
So I just recently went through an IT network engineer course. So I developed this love for IT and technology, this new wave of technology that's enabling creative people to bring their creativity to many. So I was like, why don't I capitalize in this? And so I was like, yeah, okay, so I'll give myself a little mini, and I'll give myself a Focusrite. That's what I initially used to set up my mic and record my guitar playing. And from there, I was like, okay, so I'm stumped. I'm at a standstill. What can I do? And so at that time, I was listening to a lot of motivational persons like Grant Cardone, because technically I'm out in a slump anxiety, depression, not knowing what the future was going to hold for me. And like Tom Petty says, there's creativity, there's in the air. Even from my wife was criticizing me that I got inspired from the vacuum cleaner to create a song. So like, and they joke at that, but and it is there is creativity everywhere.
There's a band. There's a band called Fish where one of the guys actually plays a vacuum cleaner on stage.
hey, creativity has no boundaries.
Absolutely. You had mentioned the song Ella. Why don't you talk a little bit about that track? When was it first written, and what inspired you to put it together?
Well, it was. I think. I don't want to put myself in the category of great artist, but I mean, every artist, every creative soul has to endure some form of pain for their art. As a kid, I mean, just like every other red-blooded American, I mean, I fell in love with a girl, and unfortunately, for better or for worse, I think it's for better, things didn't happen. My life went in totally better direction for both parties, I think. And Ella was born. I locked myself in my room for hours on end just playing my guitar. And that's what I tell my nephews, my family, my son. I have a 15-year-old son who's very creative, art, pictures and stuff like that, illustrator. And I tell him, like, there's creativity everywhere. Get motivated.
Here is Alberto Botello, Ella, Indie Music, True Music Discovery on SongCast. Listening to an interview with Alberto Botello. That one's called Ella. Let's continue on with this conversation on SongCast. Do you do all the music yourself, or do you work with anyone else, or is it just a completely...
As of right now, well, like I said, I'm currently, I work as a nurse. I'm a licensed vocational nurse at Fort Hood, Texas, at Darnell. And so I've met a few individuals that have their own studios. My studio initially was like maybe a 2x2 space in my living room. And I had to like shoo my son, shoo my wife, the dogs out of the way when I was recording, and a lot of angry faces at me. But
what kind of software you use to record?
Right now, I use Muse Score to get my music on, and then I move it to Ableton.
Let's move to the track Crisol. That's your latest single, correct?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that one.
So like I was saying, life brought me to my best times uh, things that have happened brought me to a special lady, and went through 2 deployments, military deployments. I served my country for 3. Went to Iraq twice. I enjoyed it. Not killing part. I was there to help my country when it needed the help. Bunch of great guys. But without the support of a great lady, I wouldn't have been able to achieve that. I had seen a lot of service members not accomplish their duty because of many marital issues, and so I thank that lady for everything that she contributed.
Well, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Here is the latest single from Alberto Botello. This is called Crisol, indie music, true music discovery on SongCast. This is the Electronic Spotlight, taking you on a musical vacation to Texas for our featured artist, Alberto Botello. Some amazing indie electronic music. Let's continue on with our interview, exclusively on SongCast. If people like what they hear, they can buy your music on all the places where SongCast distributes. You can buy them on Amazon, on Apple Music. I encourage people to buy tracks, put them on their phones, share them with your friends and family. You can also stream your music on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. So there's lots of places out there for people to check out your music where SongCast distributes you. How about we move on to the track Gabriella? I imagine that song was motivated by a lady?
My mother. The reason why I went from Ella to Gabriella is COVID. A lot of people were getting hurt severely. My concerns was not saying that I love you to people that I loved and something happened. So I created I set myself down, put it into what I knew best, and I gave it to her. And it's like, hey, thank you for life. Thank you for the support as a kid. Thank you for just being there. I mean, because as a kid, she was a great listener. And now our kids, they do need a lot of listening.
What a great gift.
Thank you.
Here it is, Gabriella, Alberto Botello, indie music on SongCast. You are listening to indie music from Alberto Botello, featured artist on Spotlight. Let's go back to our interview. And how about the final track we're going to do here in the show, the track Muse? Anything to say about that one?
Muse, originally it was for another lady.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought this was the one track that wasn't about a lady.
No, behind Napoleon had great Josephine. There's always I'm not saying that I'm a great character, but men get motivated by females or get by someone that has provided a lot of influence. And as a kid, there was one of my aunts, two aunts. Unfortunately, one of them passed away from cancer, and this past year.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, and the other lady, my other aunt, just lost her daughter to cancer. So it's been rough. And fortunately, I've had great support system, and I've had modes or means of how to express my gratitude, so I could instead of directing it into deep depression and feeling bad for myself, creating something of value. And that's my main motivation, creating value.
Well, there's definitely value in music, that's for sure.
Thank you.
You are in Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
Maybe, is that about like halfway where you're at between like Austin and Fort Worth, something like that?
That's correct, sir. Yes.
What's the music scene like down there?
Oh, Austin's always up. Remember Stevie Ray Vaughan, hearing from him. Central Texas still has those flash floods that he used to speak of. But, in regards to music here, in the Fort Hood area, it's kind of slow. But Austin is a great happening place.
Are you working on any new stuff?
Yes, I am.
And how would you say the new stuff differs from what we're hearing in the show tonight?
I'm trying to incorporate lyrics, and I'm trying to get more of the bass and less piano, less keys. Because I'm a one-man band, it's been taking some time.
Well, we would keep our eyes out for new music and look forward to hearing some. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, telling us the story behind some of your songs, and for being part of the SongCast family.
I appreciate you taking the time here, and thanks to SongCast for all their help.
Here is our final track from Alberto Botello. If you like what you hear, once again, buy on Amazon, Apple Music, stream on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, and check this tune out. Crank it up, open the windows, share it with your neighbors. It's called Muse. Alberto Botello, indie music, true music discovery on SongCast.
Listen, explore, discover indie music from around the world. Spotlight features all types of indie music: hip-hop, rock, pop, electronic, country, blues, jazz, and more. Spotlight. Listen to thousands of hours of archived indie music anytime, anywhere. Experience Spotlight, the best indie music from around the world. Commercial free and free to stream. SongCast Radio. True music discovery.